What's up, gamers? It's your host, Cobra, and today we're doing a deep dive on a huge update to Legends of Venari. Now, a couple of days ago, Legends of Venari put out its largest update to date, and quite honestly, this is exactly what we should be expecting from a well-run project at this stage in the game. They are using their alpha season, or season 0, to truly get the gameplay dialed in so that the game is as much fun as possible for when we expand to include a lot more players. And so, with that in mind, let's dive right in. So let's dive right into the big changes that you need to be aware of, and we're starting with bait spawning. Essentially, they've taken the tier 2 baits and increased the minimum number of spawns from 2 to 3, and they've taken the tier 3 baits and increased the minimum spawns from 3 to 4. They've also reduced the timer on tier 3 baits from 20 hours to 12 hours. Now, those were originally 24 hours, so we see that continue to get tighter and tighter. 12 hours lines up much better with day and night so that you can maximize the usage of said bait. The reason why this is important is because the additional guaranteed spawns are an additional opportunity to get a higher tier Venari or something a little bit more rare and interesting, as opposed to spending all that gold on a more expensive bait and then ending up with 2 or 3 Laticuses instead. Now, I want to pause right there and really quickly ask you to just check and see if you have hit that subscribe button or not yet. If not, consider giving us a subscription if you found the video helpful. The most noticeable change that you're going to see is to the minigame itself, and the minigame is when you're actively trying to catch a Venari. Previously, no matter what you were trying to catch, you only got 3 actions, and because this new system is going to allow you to learn specifically the correct actions that your account should be taking for each different Venari type, it means that it's going to get to be relatively easy to catch the Venari that only require 3 actions. So now that is only the tier 1s. And the expectation here is that within a few days of playing, you should be able to catch the tier 1s at a very high rate. However, the tier 2s are going to have 5 actions moving forward, and the tier 3s will have 9 actions. Now, that is a lot more to figure out and going to be quite a bit of work. Unfortunately, we can't do this as a community because, frankly, that would be a little bit too easy. It would only take a couple of days and we would have a spreadsheet that knows the actions for everybody. So the actions have been randomized per person. So you need to learn the specific actions for specific Venari, specifically for your account, which sounds daunting, but they've got a feature that's coming next week to specifically help with that. So you might be thinking, where exactly is the skill in this game? You're just randomly choosing an action and hoping it works, right? And that's partially true, but you need to understand a little bit deeper how the system works. So there's actually a couple of things happening when you choose an action. First, it's taking a look at, did you choose the correct action itself? That is as simple as, does this Venari prefer that you do fight first, or does it prefer play or feed first? And then, regardless of whether you got that right or wrong, there's still an element of RNG to see if that action was successful. So prior, you could go play, 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 and get success, 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 and you might think, hey, that's exactly how I'm supposed to catch this Venari. However, with good RNG, you may have actually only done 1 or 2 of the correct actions and just been lucky. Now, the system is going to show you the green and red bars above the catch button are going to be green or red based on whether or not you chose the correct action. The actual result, however, could be different. So with a Earth Laticus, let's just say my preferred actions are fight, play, fight. I can click fight, play, fight every single time, and it's going to show me 3 green bars every single time. That does not mean that all 3 actions will have been successful every single time because each one still has an element of RNG. And then of course, when you go to catch the Venari itself, there is another roll of RNG. However, you're greatly improving your odds when you select the correct actions. They've also added a correct combo completion bonus, which is a bit of a mouthful, but it simply means if you choose all the correct actions, you're going to get a bonus to your catch rate that wasn't there before. They have also added a 3-strike rule, and I have overlooked this several times already, so please remember as you're out there experimenting with the new tier 2s and tier 3s that you find. But essentially, no matter how many you've taken so far, if you get 3 incorrect actions, and to be clear, that means 3 choosing the wrong action 3 times, not having the RNG result be negative 3 times. So if you're supposed to go fight, fight, play, fight, fight for a tier 2 Mika, for example, and you get the first 2 out of 3 actions wrong, you should now just throw your rig and try to catch it right away, because if you get a 3rd one wrong, it runs automatically and essentially your odds are 0. Some more important changes, if you're the type that likes to get the feed action correct, you're now going to also have to bring the specific preferred bait, or you're going to suffer a penalty if you're using a lower tiered version. This means that using baits for the feed action is more important, to be specific, but also going to be more expensive because you can no longer get away with using a lower tier version of said bait. In addition, we've got a whole bunch of economy balance changes to line up with the changes to the game itself. Your XP and gold rewards for tier 2 and tier 1 Venari have been increased when you're in a 10 energy location, and it has been increased even more if you're in a 25 energy location. So that makes those more expensive ones a little bit more viable for grinding. The tier 3 baits have been doubled in price and are now 16,000 gold before your past discount. There's also going to be a rotating sale for the tier 3 baits. We'll show you what that looks like. And you now have limits on the amount of baits that you can hold. You can only have 20 tier 2 and you can only have 3 tier 3. So this is going to prevent hoarding from being an effective strategy. There's also a bunch of quality of life adjustments or features that they have changed as well. You can see over here on the side. The only one that is of real note to me is that you can now upload a picture for your profile, which we still need to do, but is an exciting and welcome change. They've improved some other things, like the filters are much better. Some of the backgrounds have been improved. That's all stuff that I expect to happen at this stage in the game, though. And that wraps up today's patch update video on Legends of Venari. If you found this video helpful, please consider giving us a like and or subscribe below. Also, make sure you're following us on Twitter. That's where we're talking play and earn gaming every day and announcing all of our latest videos. If you want more from Legends of Venari, please let me know down in the comments section. I did one live stream. I'd love to do more, but only if you guys are interested, of course.